Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Saturday as I'm here at Disney World, but I had to get this video update out to you guys as the weekend is the most manipulated in the cryptocurrency market. And there are two very specific scenarios that I'm expecting right now for Bitcoin in the immediate short term. First and foremost, I want to talk about, and we'll cover fundamentals after this, is this Bitcoin chart that we've been covering, and everyone is starting to post this major breakout from this channel resistance. And for the most part, we have been extremely accurate over the last 2 weeks on the Bitcoin price. And a big part of that has been the fact that we've been monitoring the four-dimensional aspects of this market, unlike most analysts on this channel. And the reason we do that is because traditional markets, and Kathy Woods in the know yesterday specifically said, as hedge funds become more and more involved in the cryptocurrency market, traditional markets are going to have more of a correlation to what's happening to Bitcoin. And so I had to get this video update out to you guys. We're going to do some technical analysis and cover some fundamentals, and I'm going to head back to this avatar ride. And first and foremost, I want to talk about Bitcoin's prediction that we made yesterday, that we were going to potentially come here and test the $41,950 level. And you can see that's exactly what's happening right now, with our candle high at 41,913 today, and we have a potential bullish continuation candle from yesterday. This is a major puzzle piece heading into Sunday. If we start to see price action above 41,950, this is going to open the door to a scenario that most people have yet to bring up about Bitcoin, which is the fact that we have potentially bottomed in the immediate short term. And so what that means is that we are not going to see Bitcoin cross back below 38,000 US dollars if we can get hourly and 4-hour candle confirmations above 41,950, because now we move above the range and we now have a new resistance and range of 44,800 with a support of 41,950. So this is the best case scenario for the bulls if we want to expect continued upside and a potential bottom. And then of course, 49,700 is going to be the major resistance in the macro if we want to assume that we're not going to see any further lows and that we could actually continue to see new all-time highs for Bitcoin in 2022. That's going to be the major level to cover. I'm going to show you that in just a second on this chart. So notice here, if we were to look at the Bitcoin chart, we have the bullish continuation candle that closed yesterday on the daily. We go into the 6-hour chart, and guess what? We have seen institutional volume come in once again here for the Bitcoin price. This right here is a very positive puzzle piece inside of this consolidation. And this tells me that this bearish flag that we were monitoring is already out of the question, out of the way, and we are starting a new consolidation period, hopefully to get above 41,950, as I mentioned earlier. But don't be surprised if we consolidate below 41,950 and test 38,000, which is the second scenario that we could potentially expect here for Bitcoin. And that's the fact that we have to hold 38,000. If we channel inside of the range with a resistance of 41,950 and a support of 38,000, that's totally garden variety market behavior. And this would be something to expect that would keep the bulls and the bears on the edge. And of course, we know there were over $200 million in short liquidations with this move to the upside for Bitcoin. And so there's clearly a battle against the longs and the shorts right now. And that's going to be extremely interesting to cover here. We're going to have a new previous weekly open here, so I just went ahead and reset that. We're not going to have to care too much about that previous weekly open that was just below that $38,000 level. We already got above it. We can expect 38,000 now to be the major support if we stay below 41,950. So those are the two scenarios. Number one, we get back above 41,950. That's extremely bullish in the medium term and in the macro, because now 44,800, 41,950 is the new range that we're playing in. Best case scenario to see that. And to say that that's going to happen, I think is a little bit of a bullish bias. I would say that if we want to expect the bears and the bulls to stay on their toes, we're going to want to see price action stay below 41,950, potentially range above 40,000, and we could test 38,000. Totally fine to see that, maybe until we see traditional markets open and we actually see more institutional participation in the market. But I do have some headlines to cover here, and I'm going to head back to this ride. And first and foremost, some on-chain analytics over the last 24 hours that I believe are extremely important. Ethereum miner revenue just reached a 6-month low. Last time we saw this was August 6th. And guess what? If you look at this chart, August 6th, around that August timeframe is when Ethereum bottomed out just below the $2,000 level. We just saw this metric flash again for the first time since August 6th. Is that bullish? In my opinion, it is. Let's talk about daily on-chain exchange flow. We know Facebook wiped out 200 billion plus of its market cap with its 20% drop last week. Where's that money going? Well, check this out. On-chain exchange flow, USDT 128 million entering exchanges, and then Ethereum and Bitcoin a lot lower than that. Ethereum and Bitcoin only 125 million and 35 million. And so we're seeing the most amount of inflow, not of Bitcoin coming on exchanges, not Ethereum coming on exchanges to be sold, but we're seeing US dollars coming on exchanges. And what do you use US dollars for on exchanges? To buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so I think that's a very positive metric through this weekend. And then USDC exchange outflow volume just reached a 1-year low. Last time this happened was in July of 2021, when once again, Bitcoin was bottoming out below the $30,000 level. And then we saw a new all-time high. And then to wrap up, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz bought up $50,000 worth of Bitcoin during the dip. I like seeing this because when you start to see senators, I'm pretty sure Ted Cruz at some point ran for president or something, but I know he's pretty big in Texas, which is a very, very big state here in the United States. If we start to see more of these politicians coming into the game, I'm pretty sure he's a Republican. Imagine we see a Republican Senate, a Republican Congress, a Republican House of Representatives. Now we can start talking about bills that might get passed to allow cryptocurrencies to have more freedom, and maybe more states will adopt Bitcoin as legal tender if we start to see more of that support with senators. So I think that's very important to note that such an influential person, I know he's been quite an advocate for Bitcoin, but seeing that he bought the dip is very positive, especially when it comes to the regulation. A lot of people like to throw regulation out there as a bearish thing, but in reality, we've seen regulation mature in this market since 2018, and it's only helped the market mature. So that's it for Bitcoin. 41,950, 38,000. We know that's the range that we're in. We have some very nice bullish continuation candles, not just on the 6-hour chart, but on the daily chart right now. On the weekly, we're going to monitor this weekly close here. It might be an indecision candle between 41,950 and 38,000. If that's the case, that's totally fine with me. Main thing to realize here is that we're trying to test this 50-day moving average just above 41,950. So don't be surprised if we see a wick towards 42 to 43,000. The main point, though, is that we get above 41,950, and now we hold this as support, so we truly can stop talking about price levels below 40,000 at that point. This would be the best case scenario, and then the most likely scenario is that we consolidate here with a support of 38,000 and resistance of 41,950 before determining the next move for Bitcoin. And to quickly cover what's happening to the revolving parts, we're going to skip traditional markets today since they're closed. Remember, Ethereum to Bitcoin chart potentially showing weakness. I know that it's seeing some strength right now, but the fact of the matter is we broke out of this triangle and then we broke back down into it. This is not a positive puzzle piece, in my opinion, when it comes to schematics. And yesterday, when we saw the move with Bitcoin and altcoins, notice how the chart that factors in altcoins outside of Ethereum started to actually fall towards the support to test it for a 6th time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6th test. You knock on the door 6 times, someone's going to answer that door. Are we potentially seeing some fear come into the market where we're going to see altcoins bleed against Bitcoin if we see more sideways price action? Because of course, Bitcoin being a $1 trillion market cap, it's going to see a lot less volatility than these altcoins, especially if we see sideways price action. And in a bull market, sideways price action could help altcoins move to the upside, but in a more fearful market, sort of bearish market, we could see the opposite, where if we're seeing sideways price action in an overall market, altcoins could actually bleed against Bitcoin. But I believe that fundamentally sound altcoins will stay true to continuing their decoupling from the charts that factor in dominance. I don't think we need to be too concerned about Bitcoin dominance and altcoin dominance through this cycle. And I say that because in 2018, the altcoins and Bitcoin dominance really had a correlation Specifically, Bitcoin dominance was correlated to the DXY. Right now, we're not seeing that correlation. We actually saw a decoupling effect through this new cycle. And so with that being said, we cannot make any strong assumptions about Bitcoin dominance and the effect that it's having on the market right now. All we could say is that if Bitcoin dominance is coming up, it does indicate fear in the cryptocurrency market, because Bitcoin being the digital version of gold, it's a storage of value when there's fear in the market. And so we'll see altcoins move into Bitcoin as a hedge typically if there's fear. And so that's what we do know about Bitcoin dominance if it starts to rise up. But I don't think we can make any strong assumptions of price action to the upside or downside for any coins at this point, just based on Bitcoin dominance and altcoin dominance. I think that we've seen a decoupling effect with many coins, especially if it's in the Web3, Metaverse, if it has to do with NFTs like OMI, Ecomi, whatever. A lot of these projects, GameFi, Axie Infinity, these projects, some of the top performing coins of 2021 completely have decoupled away from what has happened to Bitcoin, and we're starting to see more infrastructure projects, layer one projects, Solana, AVAX emerge, and even Sand, USDT, right? These are great coins, great pairings to watch, and they certainly have decoupled away from Bitcoin's price action, even though many legacy coins maybe haven't been doing that well. A lot of meme coins haven't been doing that well, right? So with that being said, if you guys appreciate this content and support this content, remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm snipers. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. And with that being said, I'm going to head back and get on this ride. Thank you all for tuning into the Snipers channel this Saturday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to price action as we open the week up. We took a couple trades for Facebook and PayPal on the Discord, closing the week on Friday. And then, of course, we're already inside of a Bitcoin swing trade with an entry at 35,000. We also took a day trade just below 37,000 for Bitcoin. And so I'm excited to see what the weekend has to offer. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend thus far. Remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm snipers, and I'll see you guys next time. Snipers out.